In the heart of a sprawling forest, sunlight dappled through the canopy, illuminating the slumbering form of a magnificent lion. The lion, king of his domain, lay undisturbed, his powerful chest rising and falling with each deep breath. Unbeknownst to the sleeping giant, a tiny mouse scurried through the undergrowth, her whiskers twitching nervously as she searched for food. The mouse, small and insignificant in the vast wilderness, was focused solely on her immediate task, oblivious to the danger that lay ahead. In her haste, she failed to notice the massive paw stretched out before her, a potential obstacle in her path. She scurried forward, her tiny feet carrying her closer and closer to the sleeping lion. Disaster struck as the mouse, completely unaware, darted directly across the lion's nose, startling him awake. The lion, jolted from his peaceful slumber, roared with surprise and annoyance, the sound echoing through the trees. His eyes snapped open, and he instinctively lashed out, his massive paw descending upon the tiny creature that had dared to disturb him. The mouse, terrified, found herself trapped beneath the lion's enormous paw, her heart pounding in her chest. She squeaked in fear, her tiny voice barely audible above the lion's rumbling growl. "Forgive me," she cried, her whiskers trembling. "Please, great lion, spare my life." She pleaded for mercy, promising to repay the lion's kindness if he would only let her go. "If you let me go," she squeaked, "I will repay you one day. You'll see." The lion, amused by the mouse's audacious claim, let out a hearty laugh, his breath rustling the leaves around them. He couldn't fathom how such a small and insignificant creature could ever be of assistance to him, the king of the jungle. "Repay me?" he rumbled, his eyes gleaming with amusement. "What could a tiny thing like you ever do for a mighty lion like me?" The mouse, though still trembling with fear, stood her ground, her tiny eyes fixed on the lion's face. "Even the smallest of creatures can offer help, great lion," she insisted, her voice gaining a hint of confidence. "You never know when you might need a friend," she added, hoping to appeal to the lion's sense of compassion. The lion considered her words, his amusement slowly giving way to curiosity. He saw the genuine fear in her eyes, but also a spark of sincerity. He couldn't help but be slightly impressed by her courage, her willingness to stand up to him despite her obvious fear. With a final chuckle, he lifted his paw, freeing the mouse from her precarious predicament. "Very well, little one," he said, his voice softening. "I shall spare you, not because I believe you can help me, but because your fear amuses me. Now be gone," he warned, "and don't let me catch you under my paws again." The mouse, overwhelmed with relief, scurried away as fast as her tiny legs could carry her, her heart pounding with gratitude. She didn't stop running until she was safely hidden beneath the roots of a giant oak tree, her breath coming in ragged gasps. She peeked out from her hiding place, watching the lion as he stretched and yawned, seemingly unfazed by their encounter. The lion watched the mouse disappear into the undergrowth, shaking his head in disbelief. He couldn't imagine a scenario where he would ever need her help. He dismissed the thought and continued on his way, never imagining that their paths would cross again, or that the mouse would have a chance to repay him. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple. The lion, feeling the familiar pangs of hunger, began his nightly hunt, his keen eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of prey. He stalked silently through the undergrowth, his powerful muscles tensed and ready to spring into action. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, each going about their business under the cloak of darkness. The lion, confident in his strength and prowess, felt invincible, the undisputed ruler of his domain. He let out a mighty roar, a sound that echoed through the forest, asserting his dominance and warning other creatures to stay out of his way. The mouse, safely hidden in her burrow, heard the roar and shivered, remembering the lion's power and the danger he represented. She knew that the lion was a formidable creature, but she also knew that he had shown her mercy, a kindness she would never forget. She vowed to never forget his generosity, and to always be ready to repay him if the opportunity arose, no matter how small she was. Little did she know that the opportunity to repay her debt would come sooner than she expected, and in a way she could never have imagined. The lion, oblivious to the mouse's thoughts, continued his hunt, his senses alert and his muscles tense, focused on finding his next meal. He was the king of the jungle, and he would not let anything stand in his way, his hunger driving him forward. He felt the thrill of the hunt coursing through his veins, the primal instinct to hunt and survive. He was a predator, and this was his domain, a place where he reigned supreme. He was the lion, and he was the master of the forest. His roar, a testament to his power and authority. Having spared the mouse, the lion continued his reign over the forest, his presence a constant reminder of his strength and dominance. Days turned into weeks, the forest echoing with his powerful roars as he patrolled his territory, ensuring his continued control. One fateful afternoon, while prowling his territory in search of prey, disaster struck, changing the course of his life forever. He stumbled into a hunter's cleverly concealed trap, a snare hidden beneath a layer of leaves and branches, unseen until it was too late. A sturdy net, woven from thick ropes, sprung up around him, ensnaring the mighty beast in its unyielding embrace. The ropes tightened relentlessly with each desperate struggle of the lion, binding him tighter and tighter, preventing him from escaping. He roared in frustration, his powerful muscles straining against the unyielding bonds, but the net held firm, refusing to break. Despite his immense strength, he found himself utterly helpless, trapped by the hunter's cunning and the strength of the ropes. He was unable to break free from the hunter's cruel snare, his struggles only serving to tighten the net further around him. His roars of anger and desperation echoed through the trees, a desperate plea for help in the face of impending doom. The sound carried on the wind, a mournful cry of distress that reached far beyond the immediate vicinity of the trap. Unbeknownst to the trapped lion, an unlikely savior was listening, a small creature with a big heart and a debt to repay. The tiny mouse, who had not forgotten the lion's earlier mercy, recognized the familiar sound of distress carried on the breeze. She remembered the kindness he had shown her, a debt that weighed heavily on her tiny conscience, a promise she intended to keep. Without hesitation, she abandoned her search for seeds and berries, her hunger forgotten in the face of the lion's plight. Driven by gratitude, the mouse raced towards the sound of the lion's roars, her tiny heart pounding with urgency and determination. She scurried through the undergrowth, her tiny heart pounding with urgency, her mind focused solely on reaching the lion and helping him escape. Thorns scratched her fur, and roots tripped her tiny feet, but she pressed onward, undeterred by the obstacles in her path. Determined to help the creature who had spared her life, no matter the cost. The roars grew louder, guiding her through the dense foliage, leading her closer and closer to the trapped lion. Finally, she arrived at the scene, her eyes widening in dismay as she took in the sight before her. She found the mighty lion entangled in the hunter's wicked net, his struggles growing weaker with each passing moment. His struggles grew weaker, his breath coming in ragged gasps, his eyes filled with despair as he realized the futility of his efforts. The net was strong, and the lion was tiring fast, his strength failing him as he fought against the unyielding ropes. The mouse knew she had to act quickly if she wanted to help, her mind racing to find a way to free the trapped lion. The lion thrashed, but the ropes only tightened further, cutting into his skin and causing him immense pain. Despair began to creep into his heart, a heavy weight that threatened to crush his spirit. As he faced the prospect of a slow and agonizing death, he closed his eyes, accepting his fate with a mournful sigh, his body racked with exhaustion and pain. But then, a tiny voice pierced through his despair, a sound so small, yet so full of hope. "Hold on, lion! I'm here to help!" squeaked the mouse, her voice trembling but filled with determination. The lion opened his eyes, surprised to see the small creature standing before him, her tiny form a beacon of hope in the darkness. He could barely believe his eyes, hope flickering in his heart as he recognized the mouse he had spared weeks ago. "You?" he whispered, his voice hoarse with exhaustion. "How can you possibly help me? This net is too strong." The mouse didn't answer. She simply began to work, her tiny body a blur of motion as she assessed the situation. She scurried to the nearest rope, her tiny nose twitching as she searched for a weak spot, a place where she could begin her work. She began to gnaw at the thick ropes with her sharp teeth, her tiny jaws working tirelessly to sever the bonds that held the lion captive. The lion watched in amazement as the mouse worked tirelessly, her determination unwavering despite the enormity of the task. He saw her determination, her unwavering focus on the task at hand, and felt a surge of hope rekindle within him. He felt a surge of hope, a renewed belief in the power of kindness, and the unwavering spirit of even the smallest creatures. Patiently and diligently, she worked her way through the tough fibers, her sharp teeth slowly but surely weakening the hunter's cruel trap. Strand by strand, she weakened the hunter's cruel trap, her tiny efforts making a difference that the lion could feel with each passing moment. The ropes were thick and difficult to chew through, but the mouse persevered, driven by her gratitude and her desire to repay the lion's kindness. But the mouse persevered, driven by her gratitude and her unwavering commitment to fulfilling her promise. The lion watched, his breath held captive in his chest, his eyes fixed on the tiny creature who was now his only hope. He marveled at the tiny creature's unwavering spirit, her refusal to give up despite the seemingly insurmountable odds. He realized that even the smallest of beings could be strong, that true strength came not from size or power, but from courage and determination. Finally, with a last, determined bite, the final rope snapped, freeing the lion from his tangled prison. The net fell away, freeing the lion from his tangled prison, allowing him to stand shakily on his feet once more. He stood shakily, stretching his stiff limbs, feeling reborn as the weight of the net lifted from his body. The lion, astonished and deeply grateful, looked down at the mouse, his eyes filled with a mixture of awe and respect. He saw her small form, her bright eyes, her unwavering spirit, and realized the true meaning of courage and kindness. "You saved me," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "I never thought such a small creature could do so much." The mouse smiled, her heart swelling with pride, her tiny chest puffed out with accomplishment. "Even the smallest can make a big difference," she squeaked, her voice filled with joy and satisfaction. He realized that even the smallest of beings can make a difference. That kindness, no matter how small, is never truly wasted. Kindness, no matter how small, is never truly wasted and can return in unexpected ways. At the most crucial moments, the lion learned a valuable lesson that day, a lesson he would never forget, a lesson about humility, gratitude, and the power of kindness. The tiny mouse, remembering the lion's kindness, recognized his distressed roars and raced to his aid without hesitation. Driven by gratitude, she raced towards the sound, her small heart pounding with determination, her mind focused solely on helping the trapped lion. She arrived to find the mighty lion trapped in a hunter's net, his struggles growing weaker with each passing moment, his eyes filled with despair. Without hesitation, the mouse began to gnaw at the thick ropes, her sharp teeth working tirelessly to free the trapped lion. Her sharp teeth worked tirelessly, a tiny spark of hope in the dim forest, a beacon of light in the lion's darkest hour. Patiently and diligently, she worked her way through the tough fibers, her small body a testament to the power of perseverance. Strand by strand, the ropes began to weaken under her persistent assault, the hunter's trap slowly but surely losing its grip on the mighty lion. The lion watched in amazement, his roars subsiding into quiet anticipation, his eyes fixed on the tiny creature who was now his only hope. He couldn't believe that such a small creature could offer such salvation, that the mouse he had once dismissed was now his savior. The mouse's determination fueled her, her tiny body a blur of motion as she worked tirelessly to free the trapped lion. She focused on the task, ignoring the immensity of the challenge, her mind set on repaying the lion's kindness. Finally, with a last determined bite, the final rope snapped, freeing the lion from his tangled prison. The net fell away, freeing the lion from his tangled prison, allowing him to stand tall and proud once more. He took a tentative step, feeling the ground beneath his paws once more, a wave of relief washing over him. A wave of relief washed over him, replacing the panic he had felt as he realized he was free from the hunter's trap. The lion, astonished and deeply grateful, looked down at the mouse, his heart filled with admiration and respect. He marveled at her courage and unwavering commitment to repaying a debt, her small size belying her immense strength of character. He realized that even the smallest of beings can possess immense power, the power to make a difference, to change the course of events. The power to make a big difference, to change the course of events, to offer hope in the face of despair. He understood that kindness, no matter how small, is never wasted, that even the smallest act of compassion can have a profound impact. It could return in unexpected ways, at the most crucial moments, offering salvation when it is needed most. The lion lowered his head, a gesture of respect and humility, acknowledging the mouse's bravery and the debt he owed her. "Little mouse," he said, his voice soft, "you have saved my life. I am forever in your debt, despite my earlier doubts." The mouse looked up at the lion, her eyes shining with pride, her heart swelling with joy and gratitude. "It was my honor, mighty lion," she squeaked, her voice trembling slightly. "You showed me mercy, and I simply returned the favor." The lion smiled, a genuine expression of warmth spreading across his face, his heart filled with gratitude and admiration. He bent down and gently nudged the mouse with his nose, a gesture of affection and respect. "From this day forward," he declared, "we are friends, equals in this forest. Your bravery will not be forgotten." The mouse chirped happily, her heart swelling with joy and gratitude, her tiny body vibrating with excitement. The lion carefully scooped up the mouse onto his broad back, ensuring her safety and comfort. Together, they walked out of the clearing, leaving the hunter's trap behind, a symbol of the lion's vulnerability and the mouse's triumph. The lion had learned a valuable lesson about humility and gratitude, a lesson that would stay with him for the rest of his days. The mouse had discovered the strength within herself, the power of kindness, and the ability to make a difference, no matter how small she was. From that day on, the lion and the mouse became the best of friends. Their unlikely friendship, a testament to the power of compassion and understanding. They roamed the forest together, protecting each other from harm, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. The lion used his strength to defend the mouse from predators, ensuring her safety and well-being. The mouse used her wit to warn the lion of approaching dangers, her keen senses alerting him to potential threats. Their unlikely friendship became a legend whispered among the trees, a tale of courage, kindness, and the power of unlikely alliances. A testament to the fact that true strength comes in many forms, and that even the smallest act of kindness can have a lasting impact. And that even the smallest act of kindness can have a lasting impact, rippling through the forest and inspiring others to do good. The forest flourished under their combined protection, a haven for all creatures, a place where kindness and compassion reigned supreme. The lion and the mouse, once unlikely acquaintances, now inseparable companions, their bond a symbol of unity and understanding. Their story served as a reminder that differences can be overcome, and that friendship can blossom in the most unexpected of places. And that friendship can blossom in the most unexpected of places, creating bonds that transcend size, strength, and social status. The sun set, casting long shadows through the trees, painting the sky with vibrant colors as the day drew to a close. The lion and mouse found a safe place to rest for the night, their hearts filled with gratitude and contentment. They knew that whatever challenges tomorrow might bring, they would face them together, united by their bond of friendship and their unwavering commitment to each other. They would face them together, united by their bond of friendship and their unwavering commitment to each other, their strength amplified by their partnership. The forest was quiet, save for the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft hooting of an owl in the distance. The lion and mouse drifted off to sleep, content and secure in each other's presence, their hearts filled with peace and tranquility. Their hearts were full of gratitude for the day's events, for the lessons they had learned, and for the unwavering friendship they had found in each other. They were grateful for the lessons they had learned, the friendship they had forged, and the unwavering support they had found in each other. Their bond unbreakable. They were grateful for the unwavering support they had found in each other. Their bond unbreakable, their friendship a beacon of hope in the forest. As the stars twinkled above, they dreamed of new adventures, of new challenges, and of the many ways they could help each other and the other creatures of the forest. They dreamed of new adventures, of new challenges, and the many ways they could help each other and the other creatures of the forest, their hearts filled with compassion. They dreamed of new challenges, and the many ways they could help each other and the other creatures of the forest, their compassion extending to all living things. They could help each other and the other creatures of the forest, their kindness rippling outwards, creating a better world for all. Their tale would be told for generations, a timeless story of courage, kindness, and the power of unlikely friendships. Their tale would be told for generations, a timeless story of courage, kindness, and the power of unlikely friendships. inspiring others to follow their example. Their tale would be told for generations, a timeless story of courage, kindness, and the power of unlikely friendships, a beacon of hope for all who hear it. The forest thrived under their watchful eyes, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring strength of friendship. The animals lived in harmony, knowing that they were protected by the mighty lion and the clever mouse, an unlikely duo that had become the heart of the forest. The lion and mouse continued their adventures, always ready to lend a paw or a whisker to those in need, their legend growing with each passing year. And so, the tale of the lion and the mouse became a beloved story, passed down through generations, reminding everyone of the importance of kindness and gratitude. The sun rose, painting the sky with hues of gold and pink, signaling the start of a new day filled with possibilities. The lion and mouse awoke, refreshed and ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, their bond stronger than ever. They greeted each other with warm smiles, their hearts filled with joy at the prospect of another day spent together. They set off into the forest, their footsteps light and their spirits high, ready to continue their adventures and spread their message of kindness and compassion. The forest welcomed them with open arms, the trees rustling their leaves in greeting, the birds singing their cheerful melodies. The lion and mouse continued their journey, their friendship a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who crossed their path. Their story echoed through the trees, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can have a lasting impact, and that true strength lies in unity and understanding. The forest thrived under their care, a testament to the power of friendship and the enduring legacy of the lion and the mouse. The lion and mouse lived happily ever after, their tale a timeless reminder that kindness, courage, and friendship can conquer all. Their legacy lived on, inspiring generations to come to embrace compassion, stand up for what is right, and cherish the bonds of friendship. The forest remained a sanctuary, a haven of peace and harmony, where all creatures lived together in unity, thanks to the enduring friendship of the lion and the mouse. And so, the story of the lion and the mouse became a legend, a timeless tale of courage, kindness, and the power of unlikely friendships, forever etched in the heart of the forest. The sun set, casting a warm glow over the forest, as the lion and the mouse settled down for the night, their hearts full of gratitude and contentment, their bond unbreakable. Their story would continue to be told, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can change the world, and that true friendship knows no bounds.